Americans filing for unemployment benefits grows to a 2-month high. Last week's jobless claims are in, and they jumped by 18,000. Overall, April's jobs report is expected to show that hiring slowed down for a second month in a row and hit a low that we really haven't seen since COVID. President Trump's tariffs and the uncertainty surrounding them may be making economic forecasting a little more difficult here. Here to talk about what we should be watching for and some of the different signs that we're seeing in the economy, 21 News financial expert Chris Mediate. Chris, thank you for being here.
Great to be here.
Yes. So first, how does the jobs report reflect how the state of the economy is doing, what people should be doing in terms of their finances when you see this report?
The jobs report, again, kind of unexpected. I mean, we looked at the job openings report. So it's showing, Lindsay, that the labor market is definitely cooling off. And, you could look at that in a couple ways. If you look at and you think of history of recessions, nobody likes to hear the R word. And I'm not saying we're anywhere near there at this point. But again, we can't be in a recession until, the job market completely pretty much kind of collapses. And we're not there yet. So these readings are not great, but what they're doing is they're showing definite signs of losing momentum. So when you think of the economy as a whole, the consumer and our job market makes up a really big indicator for us going forward. So this is going to be something to watch, but on the flip side, it could, we could be celebrating a cooling labor market. And as you can see, the stock market's reaction today, Lindsay, has been pretty much so that it's kind of maybe getting in line for the Federal Reserve to continue their interest rate cutting cycle. So, there could be some positives out of this as well.
Do you think companies are slowing down on hiring to brace for the tariffs, or is it just too much uncertainty for them to make too many commitments right now?
I think it's uncertainty more than it is anything, because, again, we're seeing the job openings slow down. But again, it hasn't completely rolled over. So it doesn't mean that we're not hiring. It just means maybe it's slower hiring. And then when you see companies no longer hire and then employees staying put, that's usually kind of a bad sign. So I think right now it's creating the uncertainty. Again, we keep talking about tariffs and we haven't really priced in the impact of this yet. So, the first couple weeks of this month will be kind of interesting with some of the data that's coming out, because we'll start to see the tariffs and maybe a cycle now of like, okay, what's this impact? And I think more and more or less, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think employers are just kind of slowing things down to kind of wait and see what kind of outcome happens from these tariffs.
We've had a lot of talk about the interest rates, what the Fed will do. So I'm curious what you think the Federal Reserve is going to do. Will it even react to this data?
Most likely not. Probably not this month. I think May, everybody was hoping for a rate cut cycle to begin again. I think it's going to be continued wait and see, Lindsay. If you read anything into this, we may not see, unless the economy really starts to roll over. And I think we talked about that last time, that the Federal Reserve is willing to step in. The question is, when are they going to step in and what are they going to have to see? So I don't think the data right now is enough for them to get involved, because again, I don't think it's a terrible report. Tomorrow we have more jobs data. I think it's going to be important from a market perspective to see how the market reacts to either a too cold number or a just right number. If it's too cold, I think the signs are going to start to point to, hey, we're really starting to come to a slowdown. The jobs market is starting to roll over. I think that's what the Fed is going to watch. I think, tomorrow is going to be another big indicator, but I don't think they're going to do anything in May. I think pretty much we're going to stay put.
Chris Mediate, thank you so much for joining us as always right here at 5.
Yep, my pleasure. Thank you.